let's do a quick recap of everything very quickly. So I have my pure ref here. So this is the progress so far. Let's get rid of this one. This is the progress so far of the entire workshop of 2 days of working. When I say 2 days, it really means, the 2 or 3 hours that we have done the workshop. And then I spent about 20 minutes yesterday, well, the day before, polishing this guy. And then on the details, I spent more like, 40 minutes or something. But like I said, it's more of the same. Is the complexity of the workflow is non-existent. It's just like basically adding details. And yeah, this is the final guy. That's what I have on in the ZBrush file. And so here's a quick recap of something else that I mentioned. These are the 3 main sort of stages of what we're going to be doing today. So there's an extra stage, which is how do we get into Painter, but I didn't count that as a step because it's something that, again, we're gonna simplify. I want to keep it simple, and then we're gonna jump into Painter. So yeah, this is gonna be a step 7. So yesterday we've done 4, 5, and 6. Now we're gonna do step 7, then step 8, which is this kind of like building the material, and then step 9, which is basically the custom mask and custom painting. Let's move on. All right, let's go ahead and start. By the way, let me just go and show you the highest res. And like I said, it's more of the same. I just went ahead and added more of these pores everywhere that I think they needed. You see, it's not everywhere. It's just something that I mentioned. The fact that you have the ability to add so many details, it doesn't mean that you should add them, or at least at the same degree or the same intensity or the same sort of shape everywhere. So you'll notice there's some like subtle differences, kind of like in these ridges here. They're like a bit smoother and softer. So I made sure that after adding the details, I use my morph target and use my smooth brush to sort of like, redefine or re-smooth some of these areas. Same thing with this, like the neck area has a lot more kind of like thicker wrinkles. There's still like pores in here, but they're like thicker wrinkles. Same thing here at the back. There's still pores, but there's mostly like the skin wrinkles, and then that thickness of the pores, the chicken pores, sort of fade into a different type of detail that is more like a rough skin type of thing. So yeah. Same thing that I covered yesterday, just a bunch of details, but I spent a little bit more time thinking about it. Now, something that I changed, or not that I changed, but that I added in terms of details, or I defined things a little bit better, was the way that this sort of beak or claws or horns integrate into the model. So rather than just having it looking like a flesh part of thing, I created this sort of like division where like the skin actually finishes or attaches to the bone area. So that way I can very clearly identify the difference between the materials when I paint them. So that's the main idea. So this whole thing is like a beak, and you see sort of this thing is a curvature. So it's like, in terms of the design, it's not as functional, but because like I was thinking about it, right? Just as a side note, usually a beak will sort of finish around this area, right? So that you can close the mouth. This beak is actually going down, and it's like, it has that curvature. So it's not as functional, but I justified keeping it that way because, and I could have just like cut it here and then have this skin, but I justified to having that way because it has the open jaw. So it's not only that there is a single part that closes, and then you end up with like you won't be able to close the mouth of the thing, but because it splits, it kind of like makes sense. And I had some reference to this cockatoo there's like a cockatoo in Australia. I think it's the black cockatoo or something, that it has this sort of shape and it cannot closes the mouth all the way. So it's a bit weird, but anyway, I just wanted to give you a sense of what, like in terms of the design thinking, what it went into it. And also I added these tiny like teeth. I just wanted something like a little bit more gruesome and creature-like inside, but that's the only difference. The rest is the same model, the same thing, just added more details to it. And I consider these things to be like refinements of the details anyway.